Comments below if you're so motivated to do so. This is Wonders of a Black Woman. Well, the Department of Justice has charged this Congresswoman who represents a district in New Jersey with assaulting law enforcement at the ICE facility. So there's an incident in Newark, New Jersey, where these Congress people wanted to tour the Delaney Hall, which is an ICE detention facility. You know, they wanted to make sure that the criminals who are illegal immigrants were in good conditions and everything was okay and they were eating good and living good and they were being treated right. And Ras Baraka, who's the mayor, who, from my understanding, his office was told that he was not allowed to come on the property. Only Congress people were allowed to come. I don't know why he even came. I don't know why the Congress people brought all of these other people with them. But, you know, they wanted to cause a stir. They wanted to cause a stink. That's what a lot of these politicians are doing nowadays. They want to be the political pop stars. They just want their name trending. They are more concerned with that than actually creating any decent legislation that's going to actually do anything for the average American. But they took the circus to the detention facility grounds and, you know, they started crashing out.
Where's my Congresswoman? Where's my Congresswoman? Circle the mayor! Circle the mayor!
You see what he's saying? Circle the mayor. He should be locked up too. They know that the cops are trying to arrest him and they're trying to interfere in them being able to arrest him. And he's saying, circle the mayor. So they all are trying to interfere in the arrest. You know, they escalated this thing to where it didn't need to go. You know, he shouldn't have come there. He should have stayed back if he did want to come, because only the Congress people were allowed onto the facility grounds. And he knew that, you know, so him coming on there, he knew he was not supposed to do that. So when they go to arrest him, these clowns wanted to try to flip out and make it some sort of confrontation. Now, if any of us civilians were to do something like that, the cops would have busted us up outside our head, shot us or something. You know, these people are crashing out so hard for these illegal criminals that have migrated into the country that it's just, I mean, it just blows any imagination that you could ever have with what a corrupt elected official would do. Who would have thought that an American congressperson would be crashing out to protect a criminal that illegally entered the country? I mean, it just, when there's so many things the American people need right now, this is what you guys are crashing out and focusing on. Like, anyway. So he said, circle the mayor. He wants to make...
Watch out! Watch out! Where's my Congresswoman? Where's my Congresswoman? Where's my Congresswoman?
Don't touch us! Don't touch us!
Get off of us!
Don't touch
Get off of us!
Don't touch us!
Get your hands off of us! Get your hands off! Get off of us! Don't put your hands on her either! Don't put your hands on her either! Don't do it! Back up! Back up! We're in the street! This is North Carolina! Get off of you! Get off of you! Get your hands off of me! Get your hands off of me! Are you okay? Get off of me!
Get the hell off of me!
This is really just, I mean, it's really ridiculous to me. And remember when Simone Sanders had jumped up on the stage to tackle someone who was a protester or something that got up on the stage near Biden or something? Like, I'm going to need you black women to stop crashing out over these Democrats and their stupid agenda. You know, just like what's going on with Letitia James. Like, you knew your hands were dirty. I don't know why you insisted on going after Donald Trump like that and not expecting people to look up every nook and cranny of your ass. I mean, she have on mortgage. It's a pattern of deception when it comes to these mortgages that she was getting. In addition to, it seems like some sort of campaign finance irregularities as well. Like if you're going to, Fonnie Willis, all of them, if you're going to pump your chest out and be used as a tool for the Democratic Party to be the battering ram to bust down the door just so they can step on your back as they're walking through, then you're going to need to make sure that you've got an awfully strong back, honey. Because crashing out like this, ending up locked up, ending up with them digging up into every nook and cranny of your life, your ass, your family, just so, I mean, politics is a dirty game. So if there's something you have to hide, they will find it. And this lady here thought that she was, really all of them, think that that title that they have gives them some sort of authority. Well, it does, and at the same time, the illusion of inclusion with these black elected officials has really gone to their head, because there are certain things that you are just not going to be able to do, even if you are a black elected official.
They're saying that because he was on this side, that he
Where's my congresswoman? Where's my congresswoman?
Don't touch us! Don't touch us! Don't touch us!
All right, back up.
Don't touch us! This is not right!
Let me watch that part again, because these people are so stupid. He had to knock his ass down. The woman in the red jacket is a congresswoman, pushing and shoving and slamming her body into these law enforcement officers. Let's rewind that again, because I mean, just to see how she's the battering ram. The woman in the red jacket is a congresswoman, pushing and shoving and slamming her body into these law enforcement officers. Okay. So the DOJ, this is from NBC News, the DOJ has charged New Jersey Congresswoman with assaulting law enforcement at ICE facility, which she did. She really, in my opinion, you may agree or disagree, but, you know, I think they all made fools of themselves. That is not the way to conduct yourself. You're not representing yourself. You're representing your constituents. You're representing the United States of America. You don't go to a detention facility and crash out like that. You don't do that. And their constituents need to really think about whether these are the type of people that they want representing them. This is not how you get stuff done. By going to a law enforcement facility and crash out like that. They wanted to tour the facility. They were willing to let them do that. It should have been in an orderly way. This is not the zoo. This is not a circus. It is a detention facility for criminals. And so them coming there acting like that, they were acting worse than the criminals that were in the facility. The criminals that are sitting in the facility are acting more organized and calm than the people that are supposed to be the Congress people. I don't understand why these Congress people are trying to prove to these gangbangers from other countries that have illegally immigrated up in here that they are so down with them that they're willing to crash out for them. I mean, you know, it is the most corrupt things I've never seen any political American politicians or party operate so collectively corrupt as I'm seeing with the Democratic Party. I really do not see the Democratic Party really lasting that long if they're operating, covering up things, these ridiculous policies. I could go on a rant with that, but anyway, her ass has gotten charged. She's going to get locked up. You know, she's coming in acting like the bodyguard, the beast, the battering ram. You know, one thing I'm going to say before I get into the rest of this article, Black women, you need to stop doing that. Ras Baraka's a big boy. He does not need you crashing out being the battering ram to protect him. There was nothing that you could do to protect him from getting locked up other than getting your ass locked up too. So I'm sick of Black women always thinking that we need to jump up and be the, you know, the battering ram, the bodyguard. And that's not your place as a woman. I mean, if we're in a time of war and everybody have to get down like the Alabama brawl, then that's a different story. But, you know, if a situation like this, I'm so sick of seeing Black women always jumping up and, you know, trying to play the male role. You're not the man. Okay, you as a woman, Lamonica, should not be sitting and slamming and banging and bumping and all into the ICE office. What if they shot your ass? Because I know if I were an officer and you did that to me, you would have been on that ground, honey. You would have been face down, ass up on that ground. Because I wouldn't play that as no officer. You're not going to be slamming up into me. That is a threat. And I would take it as such and face plant your ass on that concrete. So it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You don't get to slam and bang up into these police officers and think that you're just going to get away with it. If the department, if she was not charged, if the interim U.S. attorney in New Jersey did not charge this woman, then this would have set a very bad precedent. We're talking about Congress members assaulting ICE agents. That could encourage other people to do the same thing. And these guys and women are just doing their jobs. These deportations is not unique to Trump. It isn't. Trump isn't the only person that deported illegal immigrants. I mean, get real. So why they're crashing out like this, it is only a symptom of how sick the Democratic Party has become. As if, oh, it's so taboo to deport an illegal immigrant. Oh, it's so taboo. That's never happened before. Let's crash out and fight and storm the... I mean, it's just like, seriously? Why didn't you crash out like that when Barack Obama was doing it? Why didn't you crash out like that when there were some deportations going on there during the Biden administrations? He didn't deport anyone? I know he let millions in, but he didn't deport any. So don't act like what Trump is doing is it's so unusual that he's deporting these people. I mean, it's just stupid. The American people deserve better. They really do. So this idiot who decides to make herself the man, the battering ram, is being accused of assaulting, impeding, and interfering with law enforcement, which she did. We saw it with our own eyes. And the rest of them, the guy that said form a circle around the mayor, he needs to be locked up too. They're trying to come in to arrest him. Instead of it being a peaceful, non-confrontational arrest, you guys are circling him, you're body blocking, and here this BI comes in, slamming her body into the agent. It wouldn't have been me. It would not have been me. Her glasses would have been broke, and her face would have been kissing that concrete. The Justice Department said it filed charges Monday against Representative Lamonica Mc Ivers, a Democrat, of course, from New Jersey, of course, alleging she assaulted law enforcement officials this month at an Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility in Newark. The acting U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, Alina Haba, made the announcement on X, where she accused Mc Ivers of assaulting, impeding, and interfering with law enforcement. And of course, she's saying that this is political. Of course, it's political. Because what you were doing was political. You're in there crashing out to keep these illegal criminals from being deported. You want to make sure they're being treated right and fed right, and you know that they their back is getting rubbed and foot rubs and all this other stuff you going in there for. And the facility is a top-notch facility where they're being treated very well. Nobody is trying to abuse these people. They are being treated fairly. They are comfortable. But they have to get the fuck up out of here. We have enough criminals that are American. We don't need to import criminals from other countries. Just a FYI, a sticky note that we can put up on the refrigerator for these Democrats. We have enough gangbangers and criminals in this country that we do not need to import criminals from other countries. We have enough poor people in this country. We do not need to import poor people from other countries. We don't need that. We have enough people that need health care, housing, medical, food, clothing, shelter, free cell phones, and whatever else the Democrats were giving these people. So, I mean, we have enough people in need in this country that we don't need to import people from other countries that need shit. And she made a statement saying, earlier this month, I joined my colleagues to inspect the treatment of ICE detainees. She wants to inspect the treatment of the ICE detainees. How about you inspect the treatment of the children in the public schools? Are you inspecting those buildings? Are you making sure they're getting nutritious meals? Are you making sure that they're getting the proper education? But she wants to check the facility to inspect the treatment of ICE detainees at Delaney Hall in my district. We were fulfilling our lawful oversight responsibilities, as members of Congress have done many times before, and our visit should have been peaceful and short. It should have been, but it wasn't, because you people are idiots that don't deserve the title of congressperson. You don't deserve that title. And your constituents are fools to vote you back in. Where's David Hogg when you need him? Send David Hogg into this district. Instead, ICE agents created an unnecessary and unsafe confrontation. No, they didn't. They were quite clear that they were making an arrest. You all are the one that decided to circle the mayor, push back on the ICE officers and all of that. They didn't create this situation. These are men and women that are doing their jobs. You created an unnecessary and an unsafe confrontation. She's saying instead, ICE agents created an unnecessary and unsafe confrontation when they chose to arrest Mayor Baraka, she said. Wow. Well. Hobb also said her office had dropped trespassing charges against Newark Mayor Ross Baraka, a candidate for New Jersey governor. So he got his little attention since he's running for governor. These Democrats always feel like they need to crash out to get attention, get their name trending and stuff like that, because that's free press. That's free advertisement. So he was arrested on May 9th, the day Mc Ivers and two other House Democrats were at the facility. Look, he was arrested, and they chose to go on, basically give him a warning. You can't just come to the facility without the permission and this and that. They dropped the trespassing charges. That worked itself out. But you know who's going to be the one that gets locked up behind this? Congresswoman Mc Ivers. Right? See, this is what happens when you, especially as a woman, which black women, I don't, but a lot of us do this a lot, where you feel that you need to play the male role. You need to, you think you need to jump up and be the battering ram and the bodyguard for these men out here. Now, they done dropped the charges against him, but yet her ass is in a sling. I mean, look at that. You call yourself being the battering ram and the bodyguard for this mayor who's a man. He could handle himself. Okay? He can handle himself. He's a big boy. They put the handcuffs on him. He walked off peacefully, and that was it. But you, oh no, you got to be the quarterback and all of that and crashing out. And now your ass is going to have to face these charges. The same way with like Letitia James and all these people, you're jumping up and you're playing this role and you're playing the quarterback and you're playing, you're just a tool that's being used. But when the hammer comes down, it's coming down on your head. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below if you're so motivated to do so.